Your business exists because you had the idea to start it. Everything begins in our minds. That's why your business results cannot outgrow your current level of thinking. Do you want to serve more clients, make more money, without working more or burning yourself out? Grow yourself first as a leader of your business, because that's who you are, a leader, even if you're the only person in your business right now. When you lead yourself first, the business results will always follow. My name is Maggie. I'm an international business and leadership coach, an expert in business mindset, strategy, and high performance. I created the Diamond Effect podcast to help you elevate your thinking, expand your perspective, and through it, grow your business without overwhelm. So let's get started. Welcome, dear Diamond Effect podcast listeners, to episode 226. This episode is the second part of three-part series when I'm talking about 3 pillars to business scaling and 3 pillars to my top CEO formula, just to help you understand what you need to scale your business from wherever you are to multiple 6, 7 plus figures, and also for you to understand how I work and what are the core foundations of my coaching. Last week, we talked about pillar 1, which is really foundations to scaling, really getting clear on your business model, your niche, your brand, and through that have what I call it profitable positioning framework, where your client work with you because they love you, they become loyal, they refer to you, and they know exactly how you help them, and they want you for you, not just because you happen to be the cheapest or because they know you personally. As you grow and scale your business and you have employees who deliver their service, you need to work on connecting your clients emotionally to your brand and being loyal to your brand. So that's pillar number 1. Today, we will talk about pillar number 2, which is client acquisition engine. No business can scale without consistent leads that then the business can convert into paying and loyal clients. And by consistent leads, what I mean, not only consistent influx of potential clients who are your ideal clients and already have a desire to purchase services that you offer, but also the number of leads that you get is predictable, where you can project your monthly income with accuracy based on the marketing and advertising activities that are happening in your business, whether you do them personally or whether you're hiring people, whether some of it is happening somewhat automatically because you're investing in paid advertising. And without such an engine, it's hard to scale, right? When we are just relying on word of mouth, of hoping that somebody will refer us. And every time we get a client, you think, oh, I'm lucky because I don't know where they're coming from. That is very hard to scale. In our business, we do need to become CEOs that are almost like scientists that understand their business inside out. They've put numbers and quantified as much as possible, meaning with the client acquisition engine, that means that you know how many leads you can expect each month based on the marketing and advertising activities and strategies you're using. You also dialed into your conversion, knowing that if you have high quality leads, you can predict how many of them will become your paying clients right away, and then how many of those that maybe are no for now, you can still nurture, and they will convert in the future. And when you create that sort of system, that sort of engine, that's when you can really scale. So the engine consists of 2 important pillars, and that's marketing, and we'll talk about it in a second, and then sales process, that all of it you optimize for conversions, okay? In marketing, I always tell my clients, you do need, as you scale, a combination of organic marketing and paid advertising. And here's why. Organic marketing is a low cost way to acquire clients, right? There is cost, and I'm not saying free. There is still cost to organic marketing, whether it's because you're networking and there's some membership fees you're paying, or if you're present on social media, there's software that you're using, or maybe marketing strategist or an assistant that is helping you, that still requires certain investments, right? But what organic marketing allows you to do, it allows you to lower the cost of client acquisition and build trust and authority, because paid advertising is not really something that will build trust in your ideal clients and where you can become a thought leader in the industry and authority. That usually happens through organic marketing. Now, also, what's great about organic marketing, if you're early in your business, you want to figure out your messaging and the conversion rate through organic marketing, right? Once you know how to communicate with your ideal clients in a way that they become your paid clients and that messaging is working for you, only then you should start investing in paid advertising. Otherwise, if you invest in paid advertising before, it's a very expensive way to figure out your messaging, to figure out your positioning. So I always recommend to my clients, start with organic marketing, gain clarity in your niche, how to communicate with them, make sure that what you're putting out there converts, and only then invest in paid advertising. And why paid advertising should be part of your overall client acquisition engine when you start scaling is because even though, of course, it's more costly, it buys you time, right? Once you have certain ads running on social media or YouTube or other avenues, then you don't spend as much time on that as, let's say, networking and getting out there, doing speaking engagements, or whatever the case might be. Also, what paid advertising allows you to do, especially through social media, that is very measurable. You can distill it down to knowing exactly that if I put X amount of money into my ads, I will get X amount of business out of it. And then it's very easy to plan for the income and growth when you have that detailed information. It's possible to estimate certain things, but not as in detail as it is with organic marketing. So one of the things that I teach my clients to elevate their organic marketing and make it more predictable and really maximize their efforts through it is by developing strategic partnership. And I have a process and system that I teach my clients to do it, and we build it together based on their business, their goals, and so on. So how we do it is with each client, identify their key referral partners. So those are people who are working with your ideal clients that are not in direct competition with you, with whom you can develop really great relationships and become a source of referral for each other, which then ultimately helps your ideal clients when they have in you not only a service provider, but a strategic partner that cares about their success. And if they have a need of something else that you cannot deliver, you still care about them. And the same happens with the strategic partner referring their clients to you. So, for example, the simplest example is if you're a professional organizer, some of those partners could be real estate agents. They could be lawyers, whether it's real estate lawyers or estate lawyers. So there's multiple avenues here that you can explore, right? And when I work with my clients, it's not just about making a list, strategically selecting the type of partners you do, and finding and working towards finding the people that click with you where you can have a deep relationship based on mutual win-win, right? Based on mutually supporting each other and each other's clients and help them succeed. So if you've explored that avenue and maybe it hasn't worked for you, I want to encourage you not to get discouraged and continue. Because I remember when one of my clients, Jennifer, who is a professional organizer, came and we started working together, she was telling me how strategic partnerships don't work for her. But when we started being strategic about it, using a process and consistent within a few months, she created key partnerships. Then what happened within those few months, she started getting more and more referrals every month to the point where it became consistent and predictable. And now a big portion of her business comes through those type of referrals. Now, the amazing part about it is that when you get referral from your strategic partner, the trust that their client has in them transfers to you. Therefore, if you have a sales process that optimized and it's really good, your conversion rates with these type of referrals are very high. For my client Jennifer's, I think above 80% conversions. And often the clients who say no are not even going to somebody else, but either they decide to do their project on their own or they're just delaying them and they come back to Jennifer when they're ready. Another part of having an organic marketing system that has cogwheel that work together is making sure that your marketing strategy is optimized, that you're not spreading yourself too thin, that you're selecting key channels that reach your ideal clients without overwhelming you or without spreading even your team resources too thin, where you know that these are the best channels where you can attract people and convert, and just getting really good at it. Another part of it is your way to nurture all the people that come into your sphere of influence on a regular basis, so that people who might not be ready to buy from you yet still hear from you. So then when they are ready, the only person that they will think to work with is you. And that's whether it's email marketing or whether it's your social media presence, whether it's creating value in another way where your clients can hear from you without you having to spend hours and hours doing coffee chats and phone calls. It's a very important part of optimized marketing system. And then the last part of it is having a sales process that is really allowing you not only learn about your ideal clients and understand their decision-making process, their needs, their goals, but it's also allowing you to show them how your solutions are the best for them and how your solutions are uniquely suited for them. So then your conversion rates are as high as possible, right? And it does differ between, let's say, so-called cold leads and warm leads. And the difference between that is a cold lead or a cold potential client could be finding you through paid advertising. When your sales process is tight, you can convert majority of them, but it usually will be a lower rate to when you get a referral from your strategic partners or when your past client or current client refers somebody, right? Those conversion rates can be as high as 80%. But on average, if you put that together, you want your sales process to be converting 50, 60% plus of leads or potential clients into paying clients. So it's very important. And how you do it is really you set up some pre-qualification part of the process. So when you actually talk to an ideal client, they're not somebody who are just thinking about it or who are not sure what they need and what they want, but they're already thinking about hiring a service provider like yourself to help them. Through the main sales conversation, you want to make sure that you make it about your client. You have an opportunity to really understand them and then customize the way you speak to them or the way you show them your solution to the point where you're an easy yes. And also having ability to discover what may be clients' objections, what might be the questions that they have that haven't been answered. So you can answer them and not let them leave without certain questions unanswered. One of the best ways you can optimize your sales process is really being a student of each potential client that comes through that process and let's say it doesn't convert. Going back and understanding, okay, how did they find me? What was the conversation? And what did I say? And ask them during the process, what did they say that maybe in the hindsight I didn't notice or I didn't pick up on? That I can do better next time. Every time I work with my clients, when we go into in-depth analysis of their sales conversations, we always find things that they can improve on next time so they make sure they convert the next clients, and that's how their conversion rate keeps going up. Another thing is really making your sales process easy for yourself. So let's say if in your type of business, maybe you're a contractor or even a professional organizer, interior designers, you usually send proposals to the clients. Have some templates that make this process faster and easier for you, right? Having certain outlines of how do you want to lead the sales conversations or the presentation of the projects, and not reinventing the wheel every single time not only saves you a lot of time, but as your business scales, you will be able to hire people to help you with it and train them on the process to ensure that what they do is as effective as you do right now. So you might be thinking, okay, great, Maggie, like strategic partnerships and optimized marketing and sales process, but what does it really do for me? What are the benefits? So here are the benefits when you identify some, and not only identify, but build some key strategic partnerships. What happens is you get consistent stream of very long qualified referrals that come every month, and they're easy to convert into paying clients. You don't have to be dependent on social media algorithms that much, because even though you might have great social media presence and right now they are maybe bringing you a lot of clients, that's never given because you don't have control over algorithms. Building win-win relationships with your strategic partners, right? You also have that organic marketing becomes more predictable for you and consistent. Your conversion rate, on average, you grow your conversion rates, right? It becomes higher because through strategic partnerships, if you get to where my client is to 80+%, your average from all the avenues you get your leads grows as well. Okay. And then when you have predictable revenue between strategic partnerships, between paid advertising and optimized marketing, then it's so much easier to plan your hiring, to plan your expenses, to plan investments in your business, right? You're more confident in making more longer-term strategic decisions. And then finally, of course, you stop the feast and famine cycle in your business that maybe you're struggling with right now. Then when you optimize your other routes of organic marketing and you're not stretching yourself too thin, but you really identify key channels and then just get really good at them, and that's where you spend your intention and focus, you don't have to get overwhelmed, right? Because you're not trying to be everywhere at the same time. And you can show up in those channels consistently without overworking. You get really good at converting the leads, right? Not just necessarily getting meeting random people, or if you're social media, just getting likes and comments, but no conversions. You test your messaging, right? So you can really hone in your messaging and see how it converts or what converts, what doesn't. So then when you do go into paid advertising, you know it is going to work, right? You just amplify your messaging through paid advertising. And then as you do that, you end up with having multiple lead sources working together, right? That's how you build an engine. That's how you build a system. It's not just one thing. It's multiple parts strategically chosen, strategically optimized that then work together. And that's why you also need really good sales process. So then all those curated leads that you have coming from marketing are not wasted and lost because you don't have a sales process or because your sales process is leaky and weak. So when you have strong sales process, the discovery calls, the proposals, you know how to handle objections, follow-up system to make sure that you don't lose clients who might not be ready now, but they will be ready later. You're really then spending time on talking to people who are serious and they have a budget to buy your services, right? Your sales calls really uncover clients' pains, their vision, and you can present them with your perfect solution. And you can show them how really your unique solution is ideal for them. And they don't even need to go anywhere else to look for alternatives, right? And then another thing, you handle objections confidently, right? You don't freeze, you don't discount, for example, because you're scared to lose a potential client, right? And then you have a system to follow up that nurtures your client, that gives them value, and ultimately allows you to still sign those clients just at a later date, right? So that makes sure that you are not leaving thousands or tens of thousands of dollars on the table every month from lost leads. You need to work so much harder to bring more and more leads because your conversion is low. When you convert more people, you can make way more money with the same amount of leads and the same amount of effort. That's why it's important, and that's why I call it a client acquisition engine, because all those parts are working together to ensure that the time and money and resources you invest are really worth it for you. So before we finish, I would like you to look at your current marketing, at your current sales, and assess, is it really where you want it to be? Is it effective? Is it bringing you your potential ideal clients? Is it consistent? Is it predictable? And then looking at your sales process, am I converting to my highest potential or am I losing people? Assess that and decide where are your opportunities for improvement, and then work on it and improve it. It's really worth your time and effort. And if you want to go strategically and much faster about it and use my expertise, I'm always happy to help. You can go to my website, stairwaytoleadership.com, and book a free consultation. And then we can chat there on how I can potentially help you. All right. Have a fantastic week and talk to you next week about pillar number 3. Bye. Thank you for listening today. If this podcast resonated with you, please come back. Also, you can leave a review on whatever platform you're listening. And if you have a suggestion, question, or a topic you would like me to talk about, let's get in touch via email. Email me at Maggie@stairwaytoleadership.com. See you in the next episode.